What's up, everyone? I'm here with UFC Bantamweight, coming off a nice win, Julio Arce. For your last fight, you dropped down to Bantamweight, and it worked out for a second round knockout. So, do you think you'll stay at that weight or jump back up?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna stay at bantamweight. That's the division I should have been in a while back.
That's good. Yeah. Did you feel a difference down? Why do you say that's the division you should have been? Did you feel a lot better down there?
I mean, that's the division I originally started in, and then I decided to move up. But then like I got a very good nutritionist to look. I'm fighting the people that are like the right size for me. Like I fight at 45, these dudes are freaking huge. So I'm like, let me go to the right weight division, and that's what I did. And I can't wait to really start my run up the ladder.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, definitely off to a hot start. So you mentioned how you started your career as a bantamweight. Before you got into the UFC, you're a double champ in the Ring of Combat. You defended a bantamweight 5 times, a featherweight 3 times. That's a pretty dominant run. So when you were at that point in your career, were you kind of growing impatient, trying to get to the higher shows? Like, look, I'm winning all these fights. Like, when's it going to be my turn? Or were you just happy to be winning those fights?
It was both. I'm happy we win the fights, and I had missed my opportunity to get like that UFC call like a couple times. Look, there was like the Dana White looking for a fight. I didn't perform the way I wanted to perform, and that affected me. So then I know there was another point where I was supposed to fight, but I got hurt. And then, when that contender series, then, like I still didn't get a contract, but it doesn't matter because I was just winning my fights and I kind of left a statement every time I fought. So it was only a matter of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's really impressive that, you say you feel like you kind of missed some of those opportunities, but you were just able to keep going, keep winning. And now, here you are. But I noticed that 4 of your 5 UFC fights have taken place in New York. You train there. Is that a coincidence, or do you really just love to fight in where you're, your home state?
I think just as starting out, fighting as close to home as possible. But, it was like, they were like, literally, travel will make travel easier, everything a lot easier. But eventually I had to travel. So it kind of didn't really matter, but it just happened like the cards that were in like close by New York, they were convenient. So I was like, yo, just put me in for those. And they put me in.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I also noticed on your social media, you post fight picks for all the UFC pay-per-views. So who are you picking this weekend in the big heavyweight fight?
I'm looking for Derek Lewis. I'm a huge Derek Lewis fan, and I want him to get his shot.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
he had a shot when he fought. He had a shot when he fought DC, but it didn't go so well. But now, now he's got a chance to. Although it's interim title, it's like still, man, Derek Lewis fan all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about you're fighting in New York. He's home state or home city of Houston, so that place is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, for sure. And then seeing your social media, I also noticed on your Instagram you recently posted a picture of a cartoon character with really like bright teeth, and you captioned it "Teeth and Knee Remix coming soon." So, like, what does that mean?
Oh, there's an old cartoon. It's called Fairly Odd Parents, and like the cartoon is they had like this this singer with shiny teeth, and somebody made a picture of me and Andre Ewell, like we're both smiling at each other, and like lights were coming out of our teeth. So it was like something that was just like a comparison, and that's the name of the song that the character that was underneath our picture is what he's saying because he has shiny teeth. So I'm like, yo, it was just for fucking fun. It was fun.
It was funny. It made me. I love the Fairly Odd Parents as a kid. I always remember Vicky the bully. I always had a thing for her. Yeah, but I guess wrap things up. You just won a huge fight in a really stacked division. I mean, things are really crowded at the top. I think Cody Garbrandt's leaving, but a guy that talented, I think he's ranked like 11th or 12th. So it's just a really stacked division. So where do you see yourself fitting in, and what do you think's next to you? Do you have a name in mind?
Honestly, I don't have a name in mind. I'm just hoping to get a fight at least. I know November they're coming back to Madison Square Garden or anywhere around November, just trying to get like a fight again and hopefully fight another one at the end of the year if everything goes right. So it's like whoever I'm deserving of. Like I'm literally doing this one fight at a time, one step at a time, and eventually I'll see myself climbing up to top 15 and then top 10 and so on.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you could, go right back to New York and Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I was at your fight against Dawoodu at the Garden, and I thought you won that fight for the record. But, and so hopefully you get back there. And then our last question, I like to ask all the fighters, this never fails to disappoint. Before you were in the UFC, what jobs were you working where you were like, I got to get out of this and become, UFC fighter?
So a lot of my students and people don't know that. Wow, before like I officially started like working in Tiger Schulman's, which is like the school that I teach out of every single day, and it's literally what I love doing: teaching, fighting, training. I used to help my parents restock the magazines and your typical like Dwayne Reed pharmacies and stuff like that. Like the Star magazines, the Hollywood magazines, all that shit. And so wake up like super early, go restock that, try to make some extra money. I used to go help work at like my parents when they worked in doctor's offices. I'll be like doing filing and all that shit, but like that's not me. Like I didn't want to be sitting down doing boring stuff. And when it came to the whole like restocking magazines, I'm like, I'm not gonna be doing this shit. Like I gotta find something that I really like to do. Martial arts is what I love to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I imagine there weren't too many people in the gym with you who were as up to date on Hollywood gossip as you would be, just stacking those magazines all day.
Oh my God. For real. Yeah, I know every gossip.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. Congrats on the win, and I hope to see you in the Garden. I'm from Jersey myself, so if I'm at that fight, I hope I get to see you live.
Nice, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, man. Have a good one.
Of course. You too. Take care.